Jupiter at Night is presented live on the internet. Yeah, it's live on the internet before a live audience. Jupiter at Night.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Jupiter at Night. My name is Chris.
I'm Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy, it's Thursday.
I know.
You know what that means?
We get to just slack off for a couple days.
Yep, Thursday's our Friday.
Which actually, the reason we don't choose this show on the weekend is because our editing schedule is hell.
Yeah, we'll have Lotso live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. But tonight it's going to be Jupiter at Night, and we're going to look towards the weekend. Mm-hmm. And with that in mind, we have to say that one of the things that we like to talk about on Thursdays often is movies. It's kind of our movie night.
That's one of the first things we do is what's coming up this weekend. Let's see what the big movies are.
Yeah. And so we thought we'd had a great tie-in for the movie that's coming out this weekend. It's going to be the Last Exorcism. Mm-hmm. Now, really, I don't think either one of us are going to run out the theater and see this.
No.
To be honest with you.
I'm not a big horror film fan.
Yeah, I'm not either. I kind of like them. I like more thrillers.
Yeah.
Or monster movies.
I like the psychological thriller type.
Yeah.
If I like them at all. And that usually is not.
Yeah.
Now, it's not every time either.
I thought, well, monsters are cool though, and scary movies are cool. And this, The Last Exorcism is really based off of The Exorcist, which came out. What did you say?
It's 1973.
That's
older than both of us.
That's older than both of us. Now I know it's not older than everybody out there. I mean, we're not saying it's super old.
No, there are older people.
But it made us think. There's been a lot of scary movies.
I think they're up past their bedtime actually.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
I kid.
Jerk. We thought. There's been a lot of movies that have come out since we've been born, since that original Exorcism movie.
I actually have a story about when I was a kid from The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah?
The Exorcist.
Well, tell us.
My two older brothers got themselves a copy of The Exorcist on VHS. It actually might have been The Exorcist 2. I don't remember specifically. And but they were like babysitting me and my little brother.
Yeah.
And they were like, you can't watch this. You guys have to go to bed.
Scary.
It's
That's
too
how
scary.
My parents were with The Thing.
Yeah.
And, of course, I could still hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody's screaming, and there's fire. And anyway, so I was sent to bed, but I snuck out while they were watching.
I did the same thing!
And I watched from around the corner.
Totally did the same thing.
And I don't even remember what I saw, but it scared me so much that I ended up sleeping that night under my bed.
The Thing scared me real bad, because he came out from underneath the sewer and grabbed kids.
Uh-huh.
That S was
you're talking about It.
Oh, It. Yeah,
Stephen King with the clown.
The clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought you would think.
Why isn't that on your list?
Well, it didn't actually scare me. The clown itself didn't scare me. I wasn't actually... it was just my first exposure to that kind of thing. But then after I saw the movies, and now going back and seeing that, it seems so ridiculous. But I thought, I'm not going to put it on the list so much. It doesn't really seem like, I don't know. It didn't seem like it qualified.
I'll give him an honorable mention. Pennywise the Clown was creepy as hell. Especially, there was that one shower scene where he comes up through the drain.
Oh, see, yeah, I kind of forgot about it. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely deserves an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Now,
so what we did for tonight's show is basically we picked the scary monsters or villains from our childhood.
From our personal childhood.
That actually scared us.
And I think maybe we'll throw them out there for you guys. We definitely want to hear yours too. So leave comments or wherever you're watching the video over at jupitercolony.com. And maybe at the end of this episode, Jeremy and I will come to consensus of maybe which one's the scariest, but we'd love to hear what you guys think too.
I just want to throw this out there. A lot of people have already been mentioning things like the Gremlins. Scary, but I found them actually sort of funny at times.
Yeah.
Godzilla, not scary. Some of the classic monsters, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula, not scary.
No, I know. Frankenstein never scared me. Dracula never scared me.
You know who did scare me?
Oh, yeah, tell me.
This is probably a classic from a lot of people about our age.
Yeah, definitely.
Freddy freaking Krueger.
Yeah,
scared the ever-living crap out of me.
Yeah,
just looking at this villain.
Yeah.
And this clip kind of gives me chills a little bit. Just
really?
Remembering from all the horror that I experienced from this guy as a kid. Because, not only is he this disfigured, evil... he's got an attitude, too.
Yeah.
He's got an attitude.
Yeah, the nasty dude.
The scariest part for me, though, is that he controls your dreams.
Oh, that's right.
And I have always, when I was a kid, I was actually plagued by nightmares very frequently.
Yeah.
So the idea of some sort of monster being able to not only give me nightmares, but actually be a part of my nightmares was personally terrifying.
Can I tell you, that's the scene where he cuts off his own finger. Can I tell you that I've only seen, the only Freddy Krueger movie that I've seen beginning to end, and I'm sorry, people, don't hit me when I tell you this, is Freddy Krueger in Space or whatever it was.
Oh,
yeah. Otherwise, I've only probably seen about 15 minutes of any of the other.
I don't know that I've ever seen. I've probably seen one entirely.
Really?
But I used to watch clips when they come on TBS or whatever, and even then they were toned down, and they still freaked me out.
Or like I had friends, and my dad was even really into him. I just never early on got into it.
I had a friend in middle school who his older brother had like a poster of Freddy Krueger, and sometimes his older brother would have friends over, and they'd watch movies like that.
A lot of my friends had posters.
Yeah,
a lot of my friends had posters. Now, do you want to hear the one that really freaked me out as a kid? This maybe I should save to the end, but I'm going to just tell you right now up front. It was the Terminator, like the original Terminator.
I found this one really interesting because it's not a movie monster, technically speaking.
Yeah, it does barely fit the definition, I suppose. But to me,
hey, if it scared you,
well, it was.
I completely understand. Robot Uprising.
It's very scary to me because I was young enough where I was starting to kind of technology is this thing that's kind of cool. But I was still very new. I did not. It still seemed very magical to me still in some ways. And so this just seemed like a totally natural evolutionary process of the technology that I was loving.
Right.
And what scared me really badly about the Terminator was it was this non-stop killing machine. It didn't matter what they did to the Terminator.
Yeah.
They even burned the sucker alive. It still came after them. They blew off its lower half. The Terminator still, even after they blow that sucker up, the Terminator's still coming after them. And I thought, man, nothing can stop these guys.
Right.
Nothing can. And that scared me. And so that stuck with me.
This part right here, after they blow it up.
This part where he's crawling after her was like wow, he never gives up. Like I thought, wow, he got burned alive and he's still going. Then he got blown up and he's still going.
At this point in the movie, I was like, oh, he's going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, he might win, exactly. And that stuck with me so that when the Terminator 2 Judgment Day came out, what really got me, and I was older by this point, but still, I don't... kid, pre-high school or whatever.
Yeah.
What really stuck with me was when they went to the future, and they had those same robots again, those freaky robots.
And there's that
Judgment Day like esque Doomsday where there's skulls on the ground, and they step on it and they crush the skulls. And I thought, this could be our future, and I threw up. I got so scared.
You threw up.
I threw up.
Wow.
Well, and it might have been the bag of peanut butter M&Ms I had too while I watched the movie, but it really freaked me out, dude. I'm going to be honest. Terminator stuck with me. Now looking back on it, I love Terminator 1 and 2. Love them.
I wonder if it's because they had such a profound impact on
I remember like that dun jump jump. Like that's just like in there, Like I can hum it to me now.
Yeah.
Both of us, I think. Both of us, and probably a lot of you out there watching, maybe Jaws might be on your list. How many people were afraid to swim after watching Jaws? Yeah, I was. I was afraid of the ocean, not of pools, but even lakes.
Yeah.
Even lakes bothered me for a little while.
And you lived on a lake for a lot of years growing up.
Yeah, it slowly devolved from a fear of like big scary fish to like a fear of like maybe lobsters or jellyfish or something. But it gave me an overall, I'm scared of the water kind of thing. So I'm glad that I'm not alone
especially
on
the
this.
camera shots of like the shark coming up to you underneath.
The shark's perspective.
Yep.
And
there were times for years and years after Jaws 2 and Jaws 3 and all of those. My older brothers were way into these things. They would watch them and sometimes force me. Because they knew it freaked me out. But we would like go to a lake and we'd be in the water and something would brush my leg and I would immediately get out.
Yeah.
I would swim for the shore as fast as my tiny little legs would propel me.
Living on the lake did help me get over it, but it took me a little bit. And one of the things that this movie got right was the whole psychological aspect of you knew that person was about to get it. And you wanted to warn them, get out of the way.
Get out of the water.
Get out of the water. And you wanted to shout that at the screen, and they would never get out of the water.
No.
It was very scary. All right. So
I'll take one again. I'll take one.
What do you got?
We actually mentioned this one earlier. The Thing.
Yes.
Look at that sucker.
Yeah. Scary.
How creepy is that? Now, I've got a clip here, too, that is just one of the greatest horror movie clips.
I have to admit, dude, watching through these, some of these don't hold up visually as well.
Oh, this one is brilliant.
This one is really good.
Look at that. Ah!
gets eaten for the people watching the audio version. The guy just ate his hands off by his stomach, and then then chaos.
The thing
ensues.
is brilliant. Probably, I think, one of the greatest alien movies ever, because this is the type of aliens that we are probably more likely to encounter. The things that are completely, utterly alien to us.
Nothing like anything we've seen before.
Yeah. And God, the visuals and everything was just so creepy in this movie.
Yes.
Everything scared me.
I'm watching it right now. I probably have not watched this movie in 10 years. I don't know. It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
And it was a very freaky movie because it was very like, what are you going to do? You're F.
Oh, switch back, because this part is... The head crawls off.
Oh, that's right. The head can crawl away.
And then it grows legs. First it uses its tongue to pull itself along.
Oh my gosh. That's another one of these. It just never gives up.
Yeah.
And that never gives up aspect is freaky as heck.
They made a video game out of this. And one of the developers mentioned that it being some of the inspiration for Dead Space as well.
Interesting.
And this is a classic.
Is that Kurt Russell in there?
Yeah.
Young Kurt Russell.
Before Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
But when I saw this, again, this is one that my brother made me watch. I specifically remember this scene. He was like, "You have got to see this." And he made me watch that scene.
Ew. Both of us don't like spiders either. You know, I noticed that a spider movie didn't make either one of our lists.
No, we kind of talked about this a little bit in the post show last night. Even though, despite our fear of spiders, once they get to a certain size...
The ridiculousness size.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's no longer realism.
Yeah. They've got to be that small, like, oh, I could actually see that in real life. Now, one of mine... I'm not a big zombie genre guy. Like, our buddy Brian. Brian loves zombies.
Loves?
He's all about zombies. Well, think of his online... Don't say it out loud, but think of his online screen name. Right?
Right.
He loves zombies. He's all about the zombies. And... I personally have never been huge into him, but one movie that did get to me because it seemed so real, again, that it could actually happen. So really, that seems to be that realistic thing seems to click with me.
Because it was a little more psychological than just flat-out horror.
In 28 Days, if you recall, it opens up...
I actually didn't see this one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so I won't spoil it for you, but it opens up where it's just a dude, and he's in an abandoned hospital.
I've seen those visuals, though.
Yeah, and it's really great build-up. And then it's zombies, and they're aggressive, they're fast, they're angry, but it also really features the de-evolution of the human species in that condition, like the things that they start to do, and the
post-apocalyptic,
and the moral judgments that they start making,
right?
Which was also a very psychologically creepy thing to go through. So the movie had a lot of these elements of it's a realistic cause, it's a creepy setting, and it's a creepy thing that happens on a lot of different levels. It was a good movie.
And the movie scared you?
Yeah, it made me jump a few times, and normally zombie movies don't make me jump.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure it got mentioned for that because I don't really think many zombie movies are very scary.
I don't think zombies, generally speaking.
They're slow moving. See, these were fast, angry zombies.
Right. Runners.
What do you think? You got now you're probably not going to be busting out a zombie. What's your next scary one?
No, my next one. I think actually my next three ones you might find a little humorous, but I was a strange child. This. Oh, I've already got the link. Hang on.
Oh yeah.
Tim Curry in Legend as the Lord of Darkness scared my pants off.
What is this, like a 1986?
I don't even remember anymore.
Something like that.
It was
I did not
one
see
of
this
Tom
movie.
Cruise's first movies ever.
I have not seen this.
Great role. I've seen this movie recently. Not a great movie.
What's the scary part?
But Tim Curry, look at him.
Oh, he's like the devil.
He's the devil. And he's got this rich, big baritone laugh, and he's just evil, and he wants to destroy the unicorns because they will...
unicorns, really?
Yeah. He wants to destroy the unicorns because by killing the unicorns...
That's a scary-looking devil.
By killing the unicorns, it will pave the way for evil to enter the world.
The unicorns are protecting us from evil.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's not a great movie, but his performance is incredible. The makeup is awesome. His lines are so evil. They still get me. But when I was a kid, he freaked me out. I couldn't watch the movie as a kid.
Are you saying I need to watch this? Is this like an add to my Netflix queue kind of a thing if I haven't seen it? Or
for a fun weekend movie.
Okay.
It's not a great movie.
Okay.
Some really good parts to it. Tom Cruise is basically the weakest point of this entire movie.
Now, the next one on my list, I can't really claim that I'm the only person that this movie scared because this movie is famous for freaking people out. That's what this movie's... Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The movie that scared me early on as a young whippersnapper was War of the Worlds, the 1953 War of the Worlds movie, where those crazy alien pod things come down and start blowing up the city.
Doesn't this guy, I don't know if they'll show him again, but doesn't he look a lot like Armin Shimmerman? Quark from DS9?
I don't think so.
Maybe they won't show him again.
I think you're drunk. Yeah, it's just the trailer.
Yeah.
But again, as a kid, I was really into the stars and the astronomy. My grandpa and I used to always, on the weekends, we'd look up at the stars with his binoculars. Not like we could really see a lot, but we'd talk about like, oh, Grandpa, are aliens real? Are they really going to come here, Grandpa? And
this one did resonate with me again because aliens.
Yep.
And just like The Thing, to a certain degree, you know, those are the type of aliens that I would suspect.
They're very different. And the timing of this movie when I saw it worked out so perfectly that I was really into the whole concept. And I had only pictured it from an idealistic standpoint, like they're going to come here and it's going to be very Star Trek.
Right.
And when I saw this, I was like, "Ooh, that's scary! Ooh, that's scary!"
Right.
And that was freaky. It's like the concept was very.
What do you
freaky.
think about the remake? It's okay. With Tom Cruise.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Do you think that if somebody the age that you were when you saw the classic, if they're the age now when they see the remake, do you think it'll affect them as much?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. I think it was a pretty faithful remake.
Yeah, and
for a change.
And this one would be hard because it looks so dated, and I don't know why as a kid that didn't bother me, but it didn't.
More suspension of disbelief, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Now, this next one here, we were talking about this before the show, and I was like, I don't remember what you're talking about, and you managed to bring it up on YouTube and find a clip of it like the perfect moment.
I just want to play it for you. Anybody that knows what this is, you're probably laughing your butt off right now. But this is Large Marge
from Pee-wee's
Big Adventure.
Yeah,
and she appears in the film for maybe 2 minutes, and that's her entire thing.
Yep,
she scares Pee-wee.
So she just. It is kind of freaky looking, and I could totally see because Pee-wee's one of those movies you're just going along.
It's a fun little kids movie. It's an adventure kids movie, you know.
Bam! It's scary. It's just pow. Now the last one on my list is I'm going to try to sum it up in a way that is sort of applies to something that's cropped up in the movies kind of in the mid-90s.
My last one is a generality as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of you will probably be familiar with the Resident Evil series, and this one that really freaks me out is their Red Queen little girl. And it's just so creepy, the way she talks and what she says.
You're all going to die down here.
You're all going to die down here. And there's been other movies with little girls, like The Ring.
The Others had creepy British girls.
Watch this.
You're all going to die down here.
That's so freaky! How freaky is that? You're all going to die down here. Okay, little girl. And then she just launches like a series of attacks. Very freaky stuff. And I remember thinking that movie, that Resident Evil movie, was the first time everyone went, whoa. That little girl is creepy.
Right.
And then you have The Ring, where that little girl crawls out of the well and walks towards the screen.
And The Grudge.
The Grudge?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say little girls in general, scary.
His wife's pregnant with a little girl.
Right. That's true.
Just saying.
But it's got to also...
I might have to teach her to do a British accent when she gets old
That would
enough.
be the problem. Because if you do the British accent...
Daddy.
Daddy, we're all going to die down here. Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that. Shut up, honey. Go away. All right, what's your general one?
My general one, this is something that I was honestly frightened of as a child, is mirrors. The picture we're showing is kind of tongue-in-cheek. But this was brought on by an old episode of, I think it was The Twilight Zone, where this guy was haunted by a shade, a specter that would follow him around in the mirrors. And when he would look in a mirror, it would be there. And every time he looked in the mirror, it would get a little bit closer. Yeah. And at one point at the end of the episode, he was forced to stare into a mirror until the shade got close enough to kill him in the mirror.
He died.
It ended up taking over his body and entering the real world through that death. And then terrorizing people.
So let me guess. You became afraid of mirrors.
I did.
Really?
And I couldn't look at a mirror for too long for like honestly, years after this point. We later on, like much later after this point, we moved into a house that had one of those setups where it's got 3 mirrors in it, so you can like see forever if you look down one side.
Right.
The side 2 were medicine
Now,
cabinets.
how old would you say you were?
9.
Okay, you're in, all right. Okay, all right. So you're not like 15.
No, this is really young stuff.
Okay.
But every time I would go into that bathroom, I would have to open those medicine cabinets.
Oh, so that we wouldn't have to see the mirror.
So that I couldn't see forever.
Huh.
And I just couldn't. I couldn't make eye contact with myself in mirrors. I couldn't.
So what finally fixed it for you?
I grew up.
I just
kind of manned up.
Powered through it?
Yeah.
You manned up? Nice. Well,
somebody mentioned in the chat room Candyman, which has something to do with mirrors. Probably would have scared me to death. Didn't see it.
We've got a link over in the show notes if you go over to jupiterbroadcasting.com for a movie that if you're a fan of monster movies, you've got to check out The Monster Squad. It's came out in 1987, and it'd be a great one to throw like in a Netflix queue or something if you like these things.
It's a fun little it came out about the same time as like Stand By Me and that kind of stuff. Kind of a group of kids get together and they're going to fight off the monsters, and all the monsters like come to the same place, like the black creature from the Black Lagoon, the Mummy, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula. Like, they're all in this.
It's like the monsters version of the Expendables.
Yeah, with kids.
Yeah. All right.
They're getting a remake. I put that link in the show notes as well. Yeah.
There it is.
The Monster Squad's going to get a remake.
Oh, that's awesome.
Release date currently in 2011. I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, I think we'll probably be talking about that later on. Yeah. There's more information
Wolfman's got nards. That's right, Red Hammer.
There's a link to the remake information in the show notes too if you want to check that out. Yeah. For
I've also got a link in there called The Psychology of Horror that just goes into some of the interesting details about why people like horror films.
Well, and talking through this, I was noticing a few trends with me.
Yeah,
it realistically could happen based around technology or aliens. That seems to really be my hot button.
So really, Jupiter at Night's kind of like a public psychiatric.
Yeah, I really appreciate everybody helping me work through these issues on the air.
So tell me about your mother.
And I do work through these issues every Monday through Thursday over at jupiterbroadcasting.com/live right here with this guy. And we do that at 9 p.m. Pacific. You don't really even need to worry about that, though. Just go over to facebook.com/jupiterbroadcasting. And if you watch there, we tell you when we're going live. It's pretty easy. And then these are available for download in just about every little format you could ever want. Audio only, HD, iPod, whatever, over at jupiterbroadcasting.com. And if you'd like to get the show every night, you can subscribe to the feeds and get it automatically.
And if you love it that much, then obviously you need to tell somebody about it.
That'd be great.
What's stopping you? Not us.
Tweet it out. Facebook it, blog it, email it.
Kidnap somebody, make them watch it.
Maybe get what's it called when you get an airplane and it flies through the sky and does air riding? Skywrite about Jupiter at Night. That'd be awesome. Send us a picture, even if it's shopped. That's fine. And help us spread the word because we are trying to grow the show, and so far we're doing a good job. And that's really thanks to you guys out there doing that. Okay, everyone. Well, that wraps up tonight's episode.
Oh wait! What? Oh God, I almost forgot.
I almost wrapped this up, dude. You barely got it in.
We were going to do an Evernote review. You mentioned on last.
Gosh, right. Thank you
on so Monday, much. But I'm not going to be able to make Monday's show.
So, yeah, Jeremy and I have been doing like a digital memory experiment for about a week and a half. And we're putting everything inside our smartphones. And we're gonna do a complete review of can you digitize your memory? Is that realistic?
Right.
And that's going to be Tuesday night.
Of next week.
Yep, of next week.
Next time you see me.
Yeah, and we don't have a Jupiter Night on Fridays, but you can turn in for Lotso.
Lotso.
It'll be live at 9 p.m. And we'll be talking about Red Dead Redemption. We have an interview with one of the guys that worked on that. And we've got a few video game news-related stories if you'd like to catch that. So that'll be at the same spot where you'd watch Jupiter at Night live, only that's going to be tomorrow night over at jupiterbroadcasting.com. Okay, now, everyone, with all of that said, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here.
Oh, God, wait. What? No, nothing.
Good night.